Oh my God, this is crazy. How are you? I'm great.
I am also great. Don't mind us. We're over in the studio over here, just jamming out to the Discord hold music. Which is
I didn't know Discord had hold music.
Oh, they have hold music, and it is a bop. Let me tell you.
That's amazing. Let me get you on screen.
It was a little
here.
something like. Long gone are the days of the like lame music that plays in the background of voice calls. This is a much better era of content.
Love it. Give me 1 second, just adjusting the. Make sure I didn't leak the chat. Did I leak the Discord? I think we're good. It's fine. It's great. There he is. He's on screen. MatPat, ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
We don't want you leaking anywhere, man.
I know, right?
And any form of leak either. Like I feel like any form of leak is probably a bad leak. You know, whether it's personal information, obviously a big faux pas, or just like personal leakage in general is something that's best avoided.
Dude, you know, as a streamer, that's like I feel like every other day I'm just accidentally leaking something. It's like my number one fear. Like or I just accidentally go live and it's just like I don't know. And I'm just like dancing around in my underpants or something, you know. It's scary stuff.
Be careful with that. I feel like that sort of behavior could get you canceled off of a platform.
Yeah. You know, especially as a Roblox YouTuber, probably not the best idea.
Yeah, regardless of the content you do, I feel like that's probably something that's best avoided. But yeah, when you put it that way, you might want to be a little bit more careful about cameras in the vicinity of you dancing around in various states of undress.
Yeah,
certainly.
I'll have a NDA everyone has to sign whenever they come into my room, just in case.
Oh, God. This has gone horrifically off the rails, and already we're just 30 sequins in. So,
I know, right? I'm so sorry. I got a question. Where did you get that couch? I love that couch.
Oh, thank you. We have it in both orange and Easter egg blue. There is a small little furniture store named Contemporary Lifestyle Furniture near Manhattan Beach, California, roughly kind of where we used to live. And they just had really interesting furniture. And I found this couch that had curved arms and it's kind of like shaped like a boomerang. Like you can't tell because the camera flattens everything out, but it's actually curved. And I loved it, but it was expensive and our house didn't really have a need for that sort of thing. We already had enough furniture. But when it came time to do a brand deal for Amazon Prime, and they're like, we need a set and it has to have an orange couch because that's the color of the brand. We're like, have we got an opportunity for you? And so we were able to buy it through a brand deal that we did for Amazon, and now it lives here, and I'm so happy to have it.
That's amazing. It's so iconic. Like the whole set, backdrop, everything. It's like people see it, they know it. Oh man.
We've gone through so many eras at this. I mean, I've been doing this for so long. Like Ash and I were talking, before the stream about like all the different backgrounds and eras of GT Live at this point. From just like the basic fan art wall with like a white background to the era where we had like a wood paneling in the background to the green era, the yellow era. Similar to Taylor Swift, I too have gone through many eras in my life.
Does it ever make you feel old? Because like I look back at my old videos and it's just like, man, I used to be so young.
He's so full of life. It makes me feel old, but not as old as my aching knees and my back problems.
Oh yeah.
No. But in all seriousness, it's cool to look back and see like your own personal history documented, right? In a lot of ways, and you see yourself kind of like grow and evolve as a person and as like an entertainer. And I look back at like the early GT Lives where we're just kind of like fumbling through and trying to figure out how to do it, to today where it's like, oh, I'm still fumbling through and figuring out how to do it, but with different games now. So, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
And it's going to be like cool to be like 50 and like you just watch like your old videos of when you were like 20 years old, or being able to show your kids that, it's cool.
Right. We live in a really interesting time, right, where video and photos are so prevalent and able to be stored at such a high volume that our lives are more documented and better documented now than they ever have been and probably ever will be. I mean, to be fair, this technology won't go away, but I think what you're seeing in future generations or kind of like current generations that are coming up is like they're like, hey, I need to set personal boundaries. But people like me, I'm like, oh, let me memorize all of this by filming everything and uploading it to the cloud and this and that. And I think, you know, it's such a novelty for where I'm at because I didn't grow up with a lot of pictures and photos and videos of my parents. So being able to like document that for myself when I get older and Ollie when he gets older is really cool. And I think you're going to have this kind of pendulum shift back and forth as different generations are comfortable with different levels of documenting that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Chat, he's not pre-recorded, I swear.
No,
they're like, he memorized all of this. It's all pre-recorded.
It's true. And your timing is impeccable, to be
Thank you.
Right? You are bouncing back at perfect time. This is very well choreographed, very well rehearsed.
Oh man, well I guess we should probably hop into some Roblox. I could sit here and chat all day, but we should probably hop into some Roblox here. Let's see.
It's your screen. You can do whatever you want. If you want to prove to the chat that this is real, you can pull something live from the chat right now.
You know what? That's a good idea. Chat, let's go with a question. Let's ask him a question right here. Spicy question.
Ooh, truth or dare?
Ooh.
Live stream truth or dare.
That could get out of hand real fast. Let's see. You know what? With it being October now, what's your favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie?
Yeah.
I would say one of my top three. It's hard to come up with just overall favorite. This might be my number one, but it's the one that always pops into my head first, which is Blair Witch Project.
Oh, okay.
Love Blair Witch Project. I think the whole like found footage angle and it being kind of like one of the first mainstream ones of found footage, it was ahead of its time. I mean, you look at where we are today, right? And the vlog style that YouTube is really like built on in a lot of ways. Blair Witch was like the start of that. And the way that it builds this like interpersonal connection with the characters, the way that it's so rudimentary filmed, and the fact that like it doesn't need to show you a monster to scare you. It is just tension built up and unsettling situations that are terrifying to be in. And it ends on this mysterious cliffhanger. It's great. I think it is awesome. It prompted this huge cultural moment. And, you know, it's hard to overstate how influential it was to horror movies and entertainment as a whole. Just great. Great film.
I actually find that horror movies or even games in general where like the less they show you of the monster, it's like more scary to me, I guess, because it's like you make up in your head what the monster is, and it's always scarier than the actual monster.
Oh yeah, because once you see it, you're able to wrap your head around it and figure out kind of like, oh, what is the actual threat? Like what the human mind is able to come up with is so much scarier.
Yeah.
It's honestly one of the reasons I would say also in my top three. I love Alien, the original Alien, which is more like it's a haunted house in space. You know, you're trapped in a confined space. You got this thing that's hiding in the corners, and it's this like slow burn of a movie that gradually escalates to this like horrifying creature. And so that's another one that I think is just incredible and does such a good job of merging horror and sci-fi together. Awesome.
I always go for the original Halloween. Big fan of that one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I took a horror movie class in college. It was actually my last class of college, which was pretty incredible. The last day of classes, just sitting in class and watching like a modern day horror movie, because we did a whole timeline of horror over the years. And what you see is that different generations, again, going back to like this timeline of things, but different generations harp on different themes because they're riffing off of cultural fears, right? So the era of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and stuff like that was an era where people were afraid of foreign powers, and that's like the communist fears and this and that coming in. And so you had a lot of movies of that era riffing on, you know, the threat of nuclear war, the threat of imposter syndrome, don't trust your neighbors, and that was really a part of it. Nowadays, you see like, fast forward today, and Blumhouse is all about like robots and AI and being alone despite being surrounded by technology and stuff, all riffing on fears that we have today. And so the history of horror movies really tells you a fascinating history of us as a culture and us as, as a society in a lot of ways, where you're able to kind of tap into what the big themes and cultural like neuroses are at any given point in time just by looking at the different fears, different popular horror movies from whatever generation you're talking about.
I've never looked at it that way, but like now that you say that, it's like it makes sense. Like I see it now. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I encourage anyone watching who has a mild interest in it to go back and look at it, because when you look at it that way, it is so fascinating and it teaches you so much.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry.
They're like, MatPat's a horror enthusiast. I'm like, that was the smartest answer to that question that I think anybody has ever given me.
I'm so sorry.
No. I love it.
I'm so sorry. We're here to do a job and not just talk about horror movies.
No, but that's what we do. That's what we do. Here, let me send you a link to. I have this game here. This is, I think the charity made this game here. I thought we'd hop into this for a little bit, and then, of course, if we have time, got to hop into Piggy for a little bit, right? Play around a Piggy or something.
You might have to carry me. Fair warning. It's been a while since I played, and even when I played, I was not particularly great at it.
Been a little bit. Yo.
Yeah. Is it because I have the game pulled up in Roblox. Should I just hop into it?
I think it's the Kids Relief Simulator, I think is what it is.
Yeah, should I hop in?
I'm having, let me get my manager to make a private server, and he'll just send us the link, and then we can hop into that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, man. Cool. How's the retirement going? Because I feel like I've seen you more now that you're retired than when you were retired.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point in a lot of ways, right? Whereas before, I was caught in the confines of having to do scripts and recordings and stuff like that, where I wasn't able to, like, even if I were to see you at like a VidCon or a creator summit, right?
Yeah.
Where I would go out to see people, always in the back of your head and always kind of hovering over you is the need of like, hey, you still have 4, if not more, scripts to polish, record, and get through by the end of this week. And so it would be like, all right, I got to cut things off and go back to the hotel room and write until wee hours of the morning and cover up myself with a blanket and hide under a table and record it, right? And check it off the list and then rinse and repeat the next day. And so with retirement, right, it's the ability to like, oh no, I can actually like go and enjoy things and experience stuff and hang out with people or riff on other people's content or whatever. It's been fantastic. It's been really, really nice.
I feel that. Literally, I got to the Creator Summit. I went up to my hotel room and I did a live stream. And it's like, like, even when you go on vacation as a YouTuber, there's still part of your brain that's constantly thinking of like, what's next? What's the next video? I got to do this. I got to do that. So totally feel that.
Yeah, 100%, right? And so to be off the treadmill in a lot of ways is unbelievably freeing.
Yeah.
And to be able to just like, again, enjoy spending time with you, doing stuff with other YouTubers and stuff, and being able to just like sit down and not rush through conversations about horror movies and stuff. It's been great. Like one of the things that I finished last night has been bit by bit. I've been slowly working my way through the entire Mega Man X series.
Oh, I love Mega Man X. Oh man,
which is the best, right?
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I only ever got to play through the first 3 because I grew up in the Super Nintendo era. I didn't have a PlayStation growing up, which is where X4 happened. And then by that point, when like some of the later games in the series came out, it was just past my prime.
Isn't that when Zero dies? X4.
Oh, spoiler alert!
Oh wait, have you not got there yet?
No. I beat the whole thing. I beat X8 last night, actually. No, technically he dies. Spoilers to anyone listening. But he dies in, what is it? 5.
Is it 5? Okay.
5 he dies, and then spoilers again. Sorry, everyone. 6. He's like, I magically fixed myself off screen. It's like this. It's this completely.
He's like evil, and then he's not. Yeah.
And I've learned a lot. This has been great, right? But this is the sort of stuff that I wouldn't have gotten a chance to do when I was on my own, doing scripts and stuff at night. But yeah, so basically X5 was supposed to be the end of the series, But then Capcom's like, we like money, so we're going to make another one without, you being involved, original creator. And he's like, oh, damn it, you ruined my plan. Like, you ruined my story. It was so perfect.
I think that's the last one I played, actually, was X5.
Yeah, X5. Oh, geez, I'm getting a lot of music here. Hold up, we're logging into.
Oh, I see. I hear it. It's loud. Yeah.
Yeah, here we're gonna. Here, let me adjust audio over on this side real quick. Can we turn down the music of? I mean, it's great music. Comic Relief, hands down, great job.
Yeah.
Great job on the game, but also it's very loud when I'm trying to listen to someone else and not just inundate you with a ton of audio. But yeah, no. So X5 Zero just magically, or he sacrifices himself, and it was supposed to be the conclusion of the story that reveals the true nature of Zero and X's relationship and this and that. And then X6 is like, undo all of that. We just need more money. And then X6 and 7 are literally some of the worst games I've ever played. And then X8, I just finished, is actually a great bounce back and a really nice way to end the series. And funny enough, just by pure coincidence, a fan spent the last, I think, like 4 years working on a demake version of X8. And so they literally, I think a week or two ago, just released a like demade version of this PlayStation 2 game that puts this iconic game and the final game of the series into the SNES style that the series was kind of best in.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I am definitely doing some selfish MatPat content time, and I'm absolutely going to play the demake of X8 just to experience it. It looks incredible. If you're a fan of that style of game, it is a love letter from a fan to this incredible game that kind of got underappreciated in its time, and it looks awesome. I'm so excited to play it. So anyway, but you know what else I'm excited to play? Kids Relief Simulator.
Segue!
Speaking of things I'm excited to play.
Actually, before we get off that topic, have you played the Mega Man Zero games?
I have not. So that's the next step.
Next step. Yeah, they're good. I love those. I always liked Zero as a kid because he had a lightsaber, and I was like, that's just awesome.
Yeah. Fun fact, that is our family's Halloween costume this year. So every year we do kind of like a group family costume as long as my 6-year-old doesn't think it's too cringy. And so far he's not on that board on there yet. So we're still going strong. Last year we dressed as various vehicles from the Star Wars franchise, where he was an AT-AT and I was an AT-ST. This year he chose Mega Man, actually. So I'm Mega Man. He's going to be Zero. And Steph is going to be Dr. Wily or Sigma. We haven't figured that one out yet.
Whatever you do, don't let him watch Skibbity Toilet, because that'll be next year's Halloween costume.
So for his cultural edification, I have shown him 2 Skibbity Toilets, because I'm like, oh, it's important for you to know. And that's all he's allowed to see. He likes mech suits and stuff, so that felt up and down. We showed him the first one, and then we showed him one later that's like the mech suit versions where it just scales out of control. And his fascination with it is more just like, can you imagine if you tried to go to the bathroom with a head in the toilet? That'd be weird, right? And it's like, yes, bud, that would be very weird. So that is the conversation that exists around Skibbity Toilet.
Amazing. That's probably one of the most intellectual conversations happening around Skibbity Toilet.
Skibbity Toilet. Well, just wait for the movie to come out.
Oh, I can't wait.
Brought to you by Michael Bay. It's like, it's the new version of Transformers, which is wild to think about.
You're going to come out of retirement for that one. One time only, the Skibbity Toilet movie game theory.
You get one bullet in the chamber. You get one call MatPat out of retirement, and you're going to use it on Skibbity Toilet, huh? Okay. It's a bold choice. A bold choice.
For the viewers, I think this is like a charity. I think they made this game or something, and I think if they get,
you're figuring this out.
We're figuring it out live. Yeah, right here, right now.
Come on, guys.
There was a brief. I read it. I kind of forgot about it, but I think if the game gets like 5,000 players, they're releasing like a KreekCraft UGC or something. So I'll grab the link. I'll throw it in the chat for you guys, and you guys can hop into it as well.
Nice.
Have you ever played any simulator games on Roblox?
I have indeed.
Oh, okay. So you probably get the gist of, you kind of like click your pet and then it. eats.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
What did we do? We did Mystery Pet Simulator. Was that what it was, Ash? Yeah, it was Mystery Pet Simulator, and there was it's one that spoke to us because it had hidden lore in it, and so as you progress through the different worlds, there was secret lore hidden inside, and you saw the meta of the game start to break down. And so we were able to kind of unearth the secret lore of Mystery Pet Simulator.
That's interesting. I love, like, over the years, more games have started to do like that secret lore thing, probably because of you.
No,
like Doors, for example. It's like, oh, there's so much lore there, but it's like you got to call MatPat to figure it out, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. No, it's. I think it's, yes, we're kind of like, we've spearheaded a lot of that, or I've kind of spearheaded a lot of the conversation around that sort of stuff. But also, like, in the internet age, right? People have access to communities where they can talk about stuff, where they can analyze things, where they can, like, solve those mysteries. So it gives them deeper levels to engage with, which is awesome. Like, you can enjoy the story for its surface level, but you can also enjoy the story for the hidden stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we just over the weekend we saw the new movie The Wild Robot.
Okay.
Ollie likes robots and mech suits and things like that, and this one is an incredible movie. It's fantastic. DreamWorks has been knocking it out of the park with their films lately. Puss in Boots: Last Wish was incredible.
Yeah.
This one, a beautiful movie. It's fantastic. But on the way home, we were discussing what happened to human society in this movie, because they don't mention it. It's just kind of like background details. But if you read between the lines of some of the background details that you see in just brief moments, you can kind of piece together all this hidden lore in this movie that doesn't focus on it at all, but just uses it as world building. It's really, really cool.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta watch it. Like, I feel like everywhere I look, like, people is talking about that movie. So I feel like it's got to be good.
It's pretty solid. It is. It also hits a little bit different if you happen to be a parent, because there's definitely some strong themes in there for parents. Like, Steph and I both are like, oh, we feel
Right.
this is going over Ollie's head. But, like, as the adults in the room who get what this is talking about, it's like, oh yeah, we get this.
How do you feel about, like, obviously I'm not like a dad yet. One day it'll happen, right? It's like, as a YouTuber, or like kind of like that first generation of YouTubers,
Yeah.
it's like, is your kid destined to be the next Game Theory? Like, how do you, like, look at that? You know, it's like, you have the crown now. Go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing. I think you're going to see a lot of that family business in much the same way that you see it in Hollywood, right? Where you see that, like, passing of the torch, and hey, we work to establish ourselves in this system, and you know, it becomes a family dynasty, and you know, the Sheens hand it off to each other, and the Brandos, and this and that. Like, you have all these kind of, like, family dynasties handed down from generation to generation, and I think you're going to see that a lot on YouTube. You know, and we're just starting to get to an era where that is a possibility in a lot of ways. That being said, is Ollie going to be the next game theorist? You know, if he wants to do it, I think that opportunity is something that he can apply to at some point down the line. No nepotism or anything. That'll be up to, you know, Game Theory Tom or whoever happens to be host at that point.
Yeah.
But I also, like, he's not that kid, like, at least right now in his life, right? He likes talking about things. He likes dissecting things. He likes looking for hidden lore with us. But he also is, I mean, more so, he's a builder. He's an engineer. He loves taking scraps of garbage that we have in the garage. That we have a pile called the interesting trash pile, and he loves just picking that apart and fusing the pieces back together to form, like, this is my version of a skateboard, or I created shoes that'll let you, quote unquote, walk on water, or whatever, like hover shoes or whatever. Like, that's the sort of stuff that his brain resonates with, and the way that he operates, which is really cool, and definitely not the way that either Steph or I operate. And so, you know, as long as he is happy and enjoying himself, and, you know, being a decent person, we are here to support him. And if that is off YouTube, we are even more eager to support him in that endeavor.
I know, it feels like, as a YouTuber, and I'm sure you get this too, it's like, I don't know if I kind of want to expose them to that. Like, that's like, I don't know, it's become such a different world, I guess, than what it was 10, 15 years ago, you know? Yeah,
no, it's funny. his version of like the biggest clout I have gotten as his dad is the time that I got to meet the channel Supercar Blondie. That is his favorite channel. It is an exotic cars channel. He just likes, you know, going fast and
Yeah.
machines that look cool and stuff. And so I got to meet her at the Streamies last year, and I had to do the thing that, you know, is kind of like a little cringy on my end, where it's like, hey, can I take a picture with you as from a kid? And she's like, yeah, no problem. But like that was the biggest clout, you know, the biggest clout that I ever got as a YouTuber with my kid. It isn't anything that we do or people recognizing us or stuff like that. It's like, oh no, I got to take a picture with this channel that he's a big fan of, which is pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Chat, y'all want to do? I think we might hop into some piggy now if you want to.
Are you sure? Because I am devouring these acorns right now, man.
I
like,
see that.
These acorns are dropping. I am harvesting resources like a pro right now.
You're doing incredible. Have you unlocked the second area yet?
I certainly have not.
He's doing incredible, chat.
I mean, I could. Technically, I have enough. But, you know, I'm just slow and steady wins the race. I'm just enjoying talking to you over here.
I know. That's how I get. That's why I love live streaming Roblox. Is like it's kind of an outlet for me to just talk, and then the game is just kind of like the background, you know, for people to just watch while I talk or you know, tell stories.
I don't know if you talked to your crew about it at all, but like I remember at the Creator Summit they made that joke about how, hey, we're going to be talking in these meetings for the next hour and a half or whatever, but to make it exciting for you, here's a bunch of subway surfers off to the side to keep your attention.
Yeah.
And it worked. Everyone there was like, okay, yes, now I'm finally paying attention to what they have to say.
It actually works. It's scary that it works, but it works.
And everyone like reacted we're supposed to be paying attention to YouTube and their updates and this and that, and everyone like reacts when like the Subway Surfer gameplay is like, they avoided that thing and they got like an extra bonus point or whatever, and I was like, oh, sick move.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to hop or transition,
grab this actually.
You lead the way.
Yo,
I will just
Brandon,
continue chipping away at sunflowers and moving on to the next area.
Brandon, can you grab a piggy server? Actually, I might have one.
Oh, I'm going to get a river egg right now, and it is going to be spicy. Oh, I got an epic duckling!
Oh, I got one. We're good. All right, let me grab this.
Epic. That duckling, epic.
All right, there we go.
Get that epic duckling right here. Oh.
Perfect. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Oh, he's asking the spicy ones. Favorite video game of all time, I would say is I've said it for a while, and I need to like reestablish that this is the right one. But Chrono Trigger and Earthbound are my top
okay. I've heard of it. I have the image in my head, but I've never actually played it.
Yeah, so Chrono Trigger both of them are SNES era RPGs back in the day where, you know, you could play.
Is it the JRPG?
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, so Chrono Trigger is the one where it's time travel, and so you go forwards and backwards through time to save the world from this alien threat named Lavos, which is really exciting. And then Earthbound is the one that stars Ness, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the other one where you're a kid with just psychic abilities, and you hook up with some of your friends that you make along the way, and you do things with and you have to, again, there's an alien threat that's threatening the world, both the past and the future, and it's up to you to kind of like save the universe for that reason. But it's quirky, it's funny, you fight taxi cabs and evil street signs, and there are a few games that have made me like cry to the story, like that one and Mother 3 are just like some of the best storytelling in video games that you can get.
Oh, I remember the first time I ever cried to a video game. It was The Walking Dead. When Lee dies. Spoiler alert. I remember.
Yeah,
I was like 10 years ago. If y'all haven't played at this point, you know, But I remember I was like 12 or something, and I was just crying. My mom walked in my room because she heard me crying, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was trying to explain to her that the character in the video game died, and it was just like, it was very traumatic experience for me. But yeah.
What I was gonna say, what's your favorite? So mine very clearly come from like the SNES era.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up. That's kind of like my prime gaming time. But I'm curious for you, like what is the, if you were to say,
That's
what is
a
the
tough question. I feel like as a kid, I played a lot of Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker. If we go a little bit older, maybe World of Warcraft, Minecraft. Those are definitely the games I have the most time spent in, I would say.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For me, it's interesting because there are some games that I just love the gameplay of. But if you were to ask me, like, what is my favorite game, I tend to gravitate toward what game told me the most compelling or interesting story.
Yeah.
And those are the two that stand out to me. The other one that's kind of an outlier, that tends to be in my top 3, top 5, is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, okay.
Snake Eater, which is this awesome fusion. Like that was one where just the gameplay mechanics of it are so good, and the stealth, and I'm not usually a fan of stealth games or games that you just have to really like slowly work your way through, but the stealth mechanics of the game so good.
I played a lot of I never played that because I think those were like PlayStation exclusives, if I remember. I was always
now they're everywhere, but yeah, back in the day they were.
I think they're remaking it too, aren't they?
I believe so. Oh, your humanoid head. Sorry, I'm just realizing for the first time that seeing myself recreate. Sorry, I can't believe that I hadn't clocked this up until this point. This is disturbing.
Someone scanned your head and put it in Roblox, and people can buy your head and wear it in Roblox.
Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, and I love my wife. I do love my wife. That is true. But please don't call me the wife guy, because that sets us up for some very dangerous precedents there. And other wife guys on YouTube have not ended well. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Well, you're looking great, man. I've never seen a better dressed character on Roblox.
Thank you. I was like, we have to dress for the occasion.
Truly incredible.
Have you? How much of Piggy have you played?
I've played through like 5 chapters of it, I believe.
5 chapters. Okay.
Yeah. We were diving into the lore, and then the game and the lore and everything glitched out at me at one point, and so I had to call it quits.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to do a Piggy episode of Game Theory. I guess that passes on to Tom now. But there's a ton of lore to the whole thing. It's incredible.
Yeah, like there's books now, novels, graphic novels, spin-offs. Like it's crazy just how big it's kind of like gotten, really.
Oh, 100%. Oh, I have killed myself, sadly.
Oh, did you jump off the top?
I did. I forgot that there was fall damage. I had it's one of those times where it's like, is there fall damage in this game? And I had that realization like halfway down, and there is. So live and learn. Live and learn. Well, you were making great progress, so thank you for carrying me so much.
No worries. I don't even want to know how many times I've played this, to be honest with you. Like, it's probably a scary amount.
I was almost as scary as Piggy themselves. How many chapters are there at this point?
So there's book 1, which is 12. Then there's book 2, which is 12, and then there's a few like side chapters. Like they're canon, but like they're not like needed to understand the story really.
Yeah.
Man, so I don't even know. Maybe like 30.
Okay. Yeah, we played 3 here, and then I played 2 more. Yeah, so that was it. 30. Jeez. Yeah, I'm behind the times, man.
And then there's like a fan game coming out, and
do you know the lore of Piggy? Can you?
Oh yeah.
So if we're going to do a theory about this game at some point down the line, what do I need to know? Teach me. Let the student.
Oh man, this is tough. Okay, so I mean, basically there was it's weird because we're talking about anthropomorphic like animals here, but basically there was a potato scientist. His name's Mr. P. Totally not derivative from Peppa Pig or anything, but essentially his wife was sick, and he developed this cure to try and like solve her of her sickness. I don't know what she was sick with, but I don't know if that was ever like revealed. But he needed test subjects. The Piggy family like signed up for it. They took the quote unquote cure, and later that night they all turned into evil zombies, and then it kind of like spread from there.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah. Well, it gets crazy because in book 2, it's actually like, well, it actually wasn't Mr. P. There's actually this like interdimensional monster named Tio that's like pulling the strings behind stuff, and there's like maybe question mark time travel interdimension stuff. Like it's like, yeah, it gets, book 2 really cracks it open, but it gets crazy. Yeah.
Don't tell me that Piggy also has a multiverse in it.
There's
if it does, man, too many multiverses and too many things.
There's no multiverse that I'm aware of.
That's for book 3.
Yeah, that's book 3. Yeah, no multiverse.
The multiverse of Piggy. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, Minitoon, the developer, he went heavy into the story in like book 2. Like it's every chapter it could be a game theory video on its own. It's crazy.
Oh. Have you read the physical books, like the actual novelization of Piggy?
I haven't. I went to the store to try and find them.
You call yourself a fan.
I know, right? It's the first time I went to the store, I tried to get them at like a local Barnes and Noble, and the guy just looked at me because I'm like, "Do you have these 3 children's novels?" And he's like, "Look, just yes or no answer, you know." And they were all sold out, and every time I looked, they were sold out. So it just got to the point where it's like, whenever the next Piggy game comes out, I'll just go through and read all of them and catch up then, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Chat, are the books even good? I think
that's a fair question.
That is a fair question. And I guess like also, are they even like needed to understand the lore? Maybe it's like a side thing, because aren't the FNAF books kind of like a side thing too?
Yes.
Kind of question mark.
Correct. Yeah. So they are. I mean, they are not canon with the games, or at least most of them are not. But they are telling similar themes or similar stories in that way.
Right.
So you can get clues about the main game narrative by following the books and being able to kind of like figure out things that way.
Gotcha.
That is actually one of the big questions in general, right? Is the canonicity of certain books and now games, right? Because Into the Pit just came out, which is based on a book. It's the first Fazbear Frights story. Like it's kind of their version of Goosebumps.
Yeah.
But it is a game, but it's based on a book. So now the lines have become even blurrier, where it used to be, oh, we're just riffing on similar themes. Now it's literally, there are games based on books and games riffing on books, and there's a whole, it seems like it's already starting to tease that there's going to be a series of games just based on the books themselves. So a lot going on in the world of FNAF.
Yeah, I was playing Into the Pit, and the chat was, because I was a little bit confused, because like, where does this fit into the storyline? The chat's like, well, this is canon to the books, not the games. And I was like, oh, so that's like a separate thing. Because I watched like an 8-hour video on all the FNAF lore a few times just so I could understand it. And then it's like, oh, there's books now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of them too. I'm actually a little bit behind because they're starting to release Choose Your Own Adventure game or Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Yeah.
Which are actually pretty good. I read the kind of first demo book. They did kind of like a shorter version, and then one that is longer, like a full novelization, which is also really good. So it's this cool new era of Choose Your Own Adventure books that have a lot of lore details hidden inside of them. So highly recommend those, but I'm a little bit behind. I still have to finish the full novelization, like the long one. And there's another one coming up in December, I think is the next one. So there's a lot.
How many books are there? There's like a lot. There's
way too many books. There is I think there's 12 Fazbear Frights books, another 12, maybe 10 Tales from the Pizzaplex books. There's the original 3 novelizations. There is the Security Logbook, which had a lot of lore reveals. I am Piggy.
You're the piggy.
I'm so sorry. I sadly can't call. I can touch players to catch them though. So use your traps to stun players. I've been selected. Okay. But I want you to succeed. I don't want you to lose.
Well, chat. Let's make a bet right now. Type 1 if you think he's gonna kill me. Type 2 if you think I'm gonna escape.
So I should try my hardest, huh?
It's been a little bit since I've played. I'm a little rusty, but
Okay. I'll make it a little bit exciting then.
I should be. Watch me die immediately. Oh, there's a lot of ones in the chat. Uh-oh.
Do. There you go. I can't smack that beautiful face with a stick.
I know, right? It's just
That would be brutal.
your own face staring back at you.
Right? That's the best defense mechanism you got. Right there, it's like I can't do that to myself. But yeah, there's at least coming close, if not already there, like 30 books, FNAF books, and I have definitely read pretty much all of them.
That's insane.
I think there's maybe one or two that I've either skipped like an individual story on, or quickly skimmed, or things like that. But yeah, no, for the most part, I have consumed every piece of media from that franchise over the years. I reckon there's Bendy and the Ink Machine books that have to be read.
Yeah.
The Hello Neighbor, Tom, the new host of Game Theory, he's read all of the Hello Neighbor books, which kudos to him. I could not bring myself to do so. He's succeeded there. I've got it.
Ooh, close.
Close.
I didn't know Hello Neighbor had books.
Yeah, most people don't. It has, not only does it have books, it has a lot of books. It has more than you would expect, and more than you would think for that franchise.
Yeah, I remember I played the game and it was all right. I had fun with it, but I don't think I've even played the second game.
Well, I was gonna say that's the other thing too, is that's another series where the number of games that have been released for that series, crazy number. Hey, so sorry.
That wasn't me. Don't worry about it.
Had to do it to him. Who was that?
that was an ability. So there's abilities, and that was like you can throw like a copy out to like trick the piggy into thinking it's you.
Oh my gosh! And it worked.
It worked. It actually worked.
Yeah, you tricked that piggy. But yeah, no, there's so many Hello Neighbor games, like their Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek, Secret Neighbor, which is basically like their
Oh, yeah.
prop hunt. I mean, there's so many different things. It's crazy.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I'm following.
As Piggy, you can actually go in the little sewage right there. Yeah.
I just like following you around. It's nice. taking a tour of the facility here. It's exciting. There we go. Oh man, he's gone. Vanishes into the night.
Acid. Sorry, my bad, chat. Acid.
The water.
Like, actually, it's not
water.
sewage. It's acid.
Excuse me, but actually, I
Oh!
Wow, this is intense.
Oh, he didn't fall for it that time. Didn't work that time.
I see you.
Close that door right there.
There you go. Well played. Well played.
Chat, what other questions y'all got for Mr. MatPat while he's here?
So tell me about your stream, man. How long is this stream going for today?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you. I'm known for asking good questions.
So I started like an hour early, and then I'm just kind of going. It's one of those days where it's like, I'm sure you got this too with like game releases. It's like there's so much going on right now. It's like there's so much to talk about, make videos on, and like content wise.
Yeah, what are the things that I should be watching out for? What's going on in the world?
Well, Roblox just released the Headless Horseman bundle, which is like this big like special thing they do every Halloween. So like typically we make like a lot of like content on it, just because it's like a big hype thing, give it away, that kind of thing. There's a lot of like big updates coming out, a lot of Halloween stuff. Halloween's always like a big thing for updates, so it's always like big. Yeah, everyone just loves all the Halloween updates. I got a few more Doors stuff. Floor 2 finally came out for Doors, so
we started Floor 2. It is
hard.
It's good. It's hard though.
Yeah.
It is great. Yeah, between that and Pressure, man, those are both.
Oh
super
yeah,
solid,
Pressure. That game's good. I played through it a few times. It's good.
right? They're awesome. But yeah, Floor 2 is really hard, and also just like it's much slower. Like it's much longer.
Yeah.
Which means that when you lose, you got a lot of ground to retread. That grind is pretty long.
I think I can beat the first floor in like 20 minutes. Floor 2 takes like 40, 50. It's pretty wild.
That's a lot.
Chat, where's the green key? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. It's literally right there next to the door. Oh man. 2 years ago, I could have played this blindfolded. That's where we are. Oh, he didn't fall for it that time either, chat.
Get out of here.
Murder drones. Have you seen murder drones? Oh, he got me.
Speaking of murder, hey, got myself. I win. I killed the guy who loves his wife. Yeah. Oh, murder drones. Absolutely. Oh, the team over at Glitch, they're incredible.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah, I think I actually watched a game theory on that. Because I watched it. I was like, I don't understand any of this. What do I do? And they're like, MatPat. I'm like, yep, that's it. Pull up the video.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah, Murder Drones, super solid. I know they're coming up with the new Digital Circus episodes coming up in like a week or two at this point, like mid-October.
I think it's next week or something.
Yeah, I got to talk to them for a while at Vid Summit because Steph and I were speakers at Vid Summit, and they were also doing a couple things there. And man, they're such a cool crew. They're so sweet. They have some really cool things up their sleeves. We were talking to them about some of the things that they're talking about in like the gaming sphere, some of the ideas that they have that they're hoping to kind of like push out to the world, inspired by Murder Drones and Digital Circus. And we're like, oh, those are awesome. Those are gonna hit hard. Which is really hype. So keep an eye out for them for sure.
Yeah, I'm so happy to like see them succeed. Just like watching, like Digital Circus came out, it just blew up. But yeah, they seem like really nice people. Carl said like he works with them a lot, and Carl Jacobs, and says they're like super nice and happy for him. It's very, very cool.
Right. It's anytime you get to see other people in the space succeed and get that level of attention and success, it's awesome. It's a huge win for everyone. And so like we always say like all ships rise. And so that's always the goal for us, all ships rise.
Yeah. Yeah, chat, Netflix is coming to Netflix.
Right? Yeah, it's which is cool. Like it seems like it's an interesting deal too, where they're still able to release everything on YouTube, but it just like also premieres on Netflix, which is just wild.
I think it's first on YouTube and then like a few days later or something on Netflix, something like that. Yeah, it's
pretty wild.
I've never seen a deal like that before, so it's cool to see.
Yeah, and it's good for them to kind of like negotiate to make that happen.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I don't want to like keep you past time.
Yeah. Should we say some things about the charity?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me actually pull this link up here. So, yeah, chat, like I said, I'll be matching all the super chats and donos too. I'll throw that in here in a second at the wrap up. But there's a link at the top of the chat. You can click that. It'll take you straight to the donation page. If you donate $10, you get put in a raffle for some SpongeBob merch automatically from the charity. And I was gonna wear it, but mine didn't get here in time. I
was gonna say, is there any Creek merch thrown into that?
We got to get that for next time. Get that one.
Okay, I was gonna say, like I feel like that's SpongeBob, great. I support that 100%. But the merch I want is that KreekCraft merch. Just saying.
Speaking of merch, your jacket, I unironically wear that so much. Like it's so nice. I love it.
Right? It's a good jacket. I mean, we worked hard to make it. We just released like it in all the different colors. We have a black version, a yellow.
Do you?
Blue. Yeah, totally.
My credit card. Right after the stream, there it is.
Okay. They're selling out. I don't know how much supply we got left, but since I know you, we'll make sure we get you the hookup.
Thank you. I will definitely wear that. But yeah, link at the top of the chat. Link in the description as well. I think we got it pinned on Twitch too. But yeah, thank you so much for hopping in. I know you're Like this is crazy. This is wild.
Like, I love the fact that I have the time to do this, and that like after so many years, our paths have finally crossed. It felt like it was so long coming, and I'm so honored that one, that you invited me to be a part of this, but two, that we've actually gotten a chance to talk and bond and do things for the first time after years of not being able to. It's awesome.
100%. I was telling the chat, it's like I grew up like watching you. You're like the, not to make you feel old or anything, you know, the gray hair is popping up. I found a gray hair last night. It's like, I'm getting there, dude. Like I'm 27. It's like, oh no, it's the worst day of my life. It's like,
oh man, cherish it. Once you hit 34, that's when it hits the wall. That's when you're like, oh, there went the metabolism out the window.
I know, right? It's like, oh man, but yeah, just like being able to hang out with you, stream with you, like meet you, all that. It's a dream come true for me. So thank you so much for hopping in and being a part.
Oh my gosh, anytime, seriously. Like whether it's for charity or just for hanging out and having a good time, would love to do it with you, man. Seriously.
Maybe next piggy game, next piggy release, I'll hit you up and we'll do something.
Bring me in. I'll make sure I read up on the books before that.
Yeah, I'll send over a summary or something if you need it.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll read all the books and send it over. But
that sounds good.
But yeah, thank you so much, man. Have a good day, and thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me. Thank you for the awesome work that you're doing, you know, to support Kids Relief.
Yeah.
And thank you most importantly of all to the audience, you know, who is not just tuning in as a part of this event and this live stream, but for the help that they're giving to Kids Relief as well. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting charity efforts here on YouTube. And Kreek, thank you for being a good hub for that sort of stuff, you know, and spreading goodwill and good work and using your platform for good, which is, you know, much needed in this day and age.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Thank you very much, man.
Talk to you all later. See ya.
All right, see you, dude.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.